4L60E removal from Ls1 Commodore VT to VZ. Overview. So first we disconnected the battery. Then over here, just down in behind here, there's a bolt. You undo him and then you pull your dipstick tube up and out of here. Once you've done that, come around to underneath the car. This is obviously after the car's all jacked up off the ground enough. So you've got enough room. So now you come under the car. You undo your tail shaft bolts from way back under there, off the diff. Drop the exhaust hangers, drop the exhaust down. Support the exhaust right at the back so you don't have to undo everything. Slide your tail shaft back out of the gearbox and just sit him there on top of your exhaust system. Now this is all so that way you can put a jack under the back of the transmission, pull your cross member, pull your gearbox mount. That's them guys sitting there. Take them both out so you've got plenty of room. Then you can lower the box down, but before you lower the box down, do your top bell housing bolts on the passenger side because you can reach all them. And then bring the box down at the back. So this way, you can get the two lines off there for the transmission. Lines that are somewhere up in there. Oh, there might be one shining at me now. Anyway, they go bolting in there. So you need obviously the box down at the back so you can reach it all. And, yep, da-de-da. The box is a lot lower now because I've got it pretty much out. Well, it is out, it's just sitting on the stand. So once you got them out, you undo your plugs here. On the other side, you got your shifter linkage and another two plugs. Unplug them. And on this side here, just there on the tail housing, right there, unplug that off that, that's already unplugged, but that's where it plugs to, is that black bit. Unplug that, it's a speedo sensor, have all that unplugged, and while you got the box down, you can come over the top of the gearbox, all the way up to the top bell housing bolts with your breaker bar or rattle gun and super long extensions and one knuckle. It's a 13mm socket. Alright, once you've done all that, actually I forgot one thing, sorry, but yeah, steering rack. You need to unbolt the steering rack and pull it back just so it can drop down about 10 centimeters. So that way it allows you to drop the back of the box down enough to get your hand in to get them lines and get the top bell housing bolts with the long extensions. If you don't drop the rack, you're not going to get the clearance. So you just drop the rack. Even if you don't want to, you got to. And once you've done all this and got all your bell housing bolts out, you obviously just pull the box back. Usually you undo the torque converter bolts. So you pull out the starter motor to do that. From up there, she's out. And she is, see, right there. Slid back out of the way. And that gives you access to the torque converter bolts. Not focusing, but yeah, right there. Torque converter bolts in here. But I was completely seized on this. I spent hours. I was over it. I was like, well, this gearbox is getting binned anyway, so I don't care too much about the input shaft. So instead of wasting another few days or hours, I just ripped the box out. And that was a mission, I tell you, because I had to come back the whole 300 mils. There's only just enough to do it. But anyway, that's the overview of pulling the box out of one of these vehicles. So hopefully this was some use to you in some way. So if it is, yeah, cool, hit like at least, or some shit, something like that. Righto, later boys and girls.